Balder was the son of Odin and Frigg. He was the favored god among everyone because he was so good. One day Balder approached the assembled gods and said,
"Last night I had a terrible dream. I dreamed I was in Niflheim, the land of the dead, and Hel herself embraced me. She led me through her palace. The rooms were all of gold, and the halls were decorated with jewels. My dream terrifies me, for it shows that I shall die very soon."
The gods were horrified at the thought that their beloved Balder would die, so they decided to search the world for whatever could possibly endanger Balder's life and remove any threat. Frigg, Balder's mother, volunteered to take this great task upon herself. She approached every plant, every animal, every bird, and every serpent, every metal and every stone, every illness and every poison, and every drop of water, every speck of earth, and every spark of fire. She made them all swear that they would not hurt Balder. Once the gods knew that Balder was safe, they enjoyed testing his invincibility.
"Try again. I did not even feel that."
Loki was jealous of Balder's invincibility.
"Have you really demanded an oath from everything in the world?"
Loki asked. "Oh yes," Frigg replied. "After all, Balder is my son. I have received an oath from everything, every plant and every animal, every bird and every serpent, every metal and every stone, every illness and every poison, every drop of water and every speck of earth, and every spark of fire. Nothing will hurt Balder. I assure you that he is really quite safe." "Well, I did miss one thing," Frigg replied, "but that was intentional. A little mistletoe bush growing west of Valhalla. I did not demand that it take a sacred oath because it seemed too young to harm anyone." At this, Loki left for Valhalla, found the mistletoe, and turned it into a sharp twig, and he returned to Asgard. The hall resounded with happy laughter as the gods hurled every kind of object at the beautiful god, all with no effect whatsoever. Loki looked around and noticed that Hoder, Balder's blind brother, was standing apart from the other gods. Hoder looked rather forlorn because he had no way to participate in the game.
"Hoder, why are you the only god who is not throwing things at Balder?"
"Because I cannot see where he is, and besides, I have nothing to throw."
"I can take care of that. You should be able to honor your brother, as the other gods do. My arm will direct your arm to where Balder is standing, and you can throw at him the twig I will give you."
Hoder took the twig, Loki guided his arm, and they threw it at Balder, and it went right through his heart, and he's dead.
Yes!
The gods stared in silent shock at their dead friend. When they saw Loki walking quickly towards the door, they immediately knew who was to blame for the death. Odin was the most upset of all the gods. Not only had he lost his dear son, but he alone knew that the death of Balder was the first in a series of events that would end the destruction of their race. Frigg then ordered the gods to go to Niflheim and find Halder and bring him back from the dead.
"I am happy to do this for my brother's sake,"
Hermod the Bold exclaimed. He took Odin's horse, Sleipnir, and galloped away. Hermod rode for 9 days and 9 nights through dark valleys. Finally, he reached the last river that divided the land of the living from the land of the dead. Stretching across it was a covered bridge with a roof that gleamed with gold even in the darkness. As he approached the bridge, the maiden who guarded asked him,
"Who are you, and who is your father? Why are you riding this road into hell?" "I am Hermod, son of Odin, the All-Father. I must ride this road into Niflheim, for I must search for my brother, the beloved Balder the Good. Have you seen him cross your bridge?" "Yes, Balder has crossed my bridge."
He came to the gates of Hel's kingdom. These gates were high and locked. Hermod dug his spurs into Sleipnir and said, "Take me over the gates." He rode up to Hel's palace, dismounted, and entered. The hall was crowded with ghosts of the dead, male and female, old and young, rich and poor, virtuous and evil. Hermod walked through the hall, ignoring the hordes of ghosts. Balder was sitting on the high seat as a testimony to the great god he was. Go.
"I shall release Balder only if you can meet one condition. You must prove to me that he is so loved that everyone and everything in the world, both alive and dead, will weep for him. If one thing objects to his return, or refuses to weep for him, then Balder must remain with me in my kingdom."
Hermod replied, "My mother took an oath from everything in the world to protect Balder's life, every plant and every animal, every bird and every serpent, every metal and every stone, every illness and every poison, every drop of water, every speck of earth, and every spark of fire promised to value his life. Surely they will weep for him. Hel exclaimed.
However, no matter how certain you are, I must have proof.
Hermod then returned to Asgard. The gods immediately sent messengers throughout the entire world requesting that every creature in form and nature, both alive and dead, weep for Balder. So every plant and every animal wept, every bird and every serpent wept, every metal and every stone wept, every illness and every poison wept, every drop of water, every speck of earth, and every spark of fire wept. They came upon a giantess sitting in a dark cave. To their surprise, the giantess replied,
No one will ever see tears flow from my eyes and course down my cheeks. Balder means nothing to me, whether he is alive or dead.
No matter how the messengers pleaded with her, the giantess would not change her mind. The giantess, who refused to weep for Balder, was none other than Loki in one of his many disguises. Loki, knowing that he had not fooled them, ran for his life. While he waited for the gods to discover him, Loki often changed himself in the form of a salmon and hid among the waters of a nearby waterfall where he caught smaller fish for dinner.
Steadily and surely, the gods approached his hideaway. Their rage was implacable.
He spied the white ashes in Loki's fireplace and instantly recognized the pattern of the net.
Loki has taken the form of a fish. Search the mountain stream by the waterfall, and I am sure you will find him there. I shall quickly make you a net, like the one that Loki himself designed, and you can catch him with it.
Finally, Loki saw he had a difficult choice. He would either have to swim out to sea, which surely would kill him, or jump over the net and swim back upstream to the waterfall. Thor anticipated Loki's decision and waded into the rushing stream. When Loki jumped, Thor was ready to catch him. Salmon are slippery, however. No matter how Thor clutched at the body of the fish, it slid through his fingers. Finally, Thor dug his nails into the salmon's tail. Loki had lost the battle. The earth became a wasteland, and in great time, a great flood covered it.
Balder left the kingdom of the dead and joined the young gods who had survived the great destruction. The world as they had known it had disappeared, but they hoped to preside over a better world.